So this is going to be a different kind of video. It's going to be kind of freeform and just kind of ranting off the cuff stuff. And there's something I want to talk about that kind of bothers me about the horror community. Remakes. Maybe not remakes specifically, but the attitude towards remakes in the community. Look, I understand that everyone wants to see original horror being written and made. I enjoy that too. But I also enjoy stories I'm familiar with being taken on with a different artistic vision. The community in general just seems to get angry at remakes and reboots just for existing. And every time one is announced, there's a bunch of people who just want to get angry about it. The way I see it, many of the best movies in horror were remakes. The Fly, The Thing, The Blob, The Night of the Living Dead, The Ring, The It, etc. If no remakes were made, like if the concept of remakes was just removed from existence, we would suffer as a result, because none of these movies would exist. The main arguments I see against remakes is this. It's either it didn't need a remake, or it's just a cash grab. So let's tackle the first argument first, the one that says this movie didn't need a remake. Let's look at Night of the Living Dead as an example. There's two versions, the Romero version and the Tom Savini version. The Tom Savini version is nearly a shot-by-shot remake with better special effects, arguably, and it's in full color. And it has Tony Todd, because we love Tony Todd. At least you should love Tony Todd. Anyway, since the Romero version exists, why do we need a remake? My answer is simply this. Why wouldn't we need a remake? Okay, so hear me out on this. You have the original film, and it's fantastic, right? Night of the Living Dead is a classic. Well, does a remake change the integrity of the original? Does the original get altered in any way once a remake is made? The answer is no, of course it doesn't. The original will always exist and will always be good, regardless of how the new one turns out. So look at it this way. There's essentially two possibilities. The remake is good, or the remake is bad. If the remake is good, then great. You have two good versions of a film. They're both amazing, and they can both be fully enjoyed. Look at The Evil Dead, look at The Ring, It. These movies have all been remade and are just about as good, if not better, than the original. Subjectively, of course. If the remake is bad, then that's good too, because it makes the original look even stronger. Like Halloween 2, Old Boy, and Martyrs. Martyrs especially, man, that's a video for another time though. So the second common argument is that the movie is just a cash grab. Well, you're right, but what that statement fails to take into account is that pretty much every movie ever made is made with the intent of making money. So with that logic, why should any movie exist? Why does this argument only apply to remakes, especially horror remakes? I could point to about 10,000 MCU movies that aren't remakes, but I could also just call them cash grabs and say, why do these exist? So I think of remakes the same way I think of music. An artist can cover a song, and I can typically enjoy listening to both versions of the song, because it's interesting to me to see it remade with a different artistic vision. Look at Puddle of Mudd's version of About a Girl. Does that make the original song by Nirvana any worse? No, but it might make you giggle when you hear it. So the next time a remake or a reboot is announced, please don't automatically hate on it and throw toxicity around before the movie even exists. I remember this happened with the It remake, to the degree that the cast of the new one had to jump on Twitter to defend themselves against people that were needlessly hating on the movie. And that remake turned out pretty good, at least the first part. I didn't mind the second as much as most do, but the first one is undeniably really good. So even if you disagree with all the counterpoints I've made, I hope my fellow degenerates can agree with me on one thing at least. And that is one thing, that more horror is always a good thing, even if the end product isn't something that you personally enjoy. Killer's Sofa might not be a fantastic movie overall, but I'm glad it exists, and I can say that for every other horror movie in existence, except maybe The Babadook.